Welcome to another episode of the Wild News Network. My name is Laura, and I'm coming to you from the north side of the Windy City. I am joined by my co-anchor, Erica.
Hello from the south side of Chicago. Thank you all, our viewers, for watching.
Erica and I are joined today by our guest affiliate, Molly, from our Wild News Network on the northwest side.
Hello. It's great to see you both, and hello to all the viewers out there.
Welcome to WNN, where it is our mission to shock you by shocking each other with the wildest news of all time. I find the stories, and Erica and our guest affiliate report them to you in real time. Let's begin with our first wild news story. We go to Erica with our first headline.
All right, here we go. We go to June 12th, 1962. That's my dad's birthday.
Whoa, this is what happened this day. That's wild.
Wow. But it's January. It's January 12th, 1962.
Oh.
It's pretty close.
So close.
Okay. We go to June 12th, 1962, San Francisco, California, to the Great Alcatraz escape. Frank Morris was sent to Alcatraz after his escape from the Louisiana State Penitentiary. The career criminal began plotting his escape with Allen West and bank robbing brothers John and Clarence Angelin. The men used metal spoons, a drill made from a vacuum cleaner motor, and discarded saw blades to dig through the salt-damaged concrete surrounding vents beneath their cell box sinks. The men eventually dug into an unguarded utility corridor and from there created a workspace in the unused cell block. There they created a makeshift rubber raft. I was going to say shaft. Rubber raft with paddles and life jackets made from 50 stolen raincoats. I feel a Seinfeld thing here. 50 stolen raincoats that men avoided discovery from guards by constructing realistic paper mache heads out of soap, toothpaste, and toilet paper. They even collected real hair from the prison barbershop to complete the look. They stuffed their beds with clothes, and with the fake heads in place, they passed nightly bed checks. The men eventually found their escape route, and on the night of June 11th, 1962, ringleaders Frank Morris and the Angeline brothers made their escape. West was unable to reach the cell in time and was left behind. The men used plumbing pipes on steps and climbed 30 feet to a ventilator shaft. There's the shaft. They walked across the cell house roof and down the drainage pipe while carrying the large rubber raft. They crossed the prison yard and two barbed wire fences before scrambling down a steep embankment in the water's edge. The next morning, sirens blared from inside the prison when guards discovered the decoy. A nationwide manhunt ensued.
They did it.
What?
They did it.
Escaped?
Keep going.
Nationwide manhunt ensued. Sighting of the three men were reported but could not be confirmed. On June 14th, the Coast Guard found one of the paddles and a packet of one of Angeline's brothers' personal effects sealed in rubber. 7 days later, remnants of the makeshift raft washed up near the Golden Gate Bridge, and the following day, one of the homemade life vests were discovered, but no trace of the men themselves. In 1979, with their bodies never being found and no proof of survival, the men were officially declared dead. In 2013, San Francisco police received a letter from a man claiming to be John Angelin. He stated, "I escaped from Alcatraz in June 1962. Yes, we all made it that night, but barely." He said that Frank Morris died in 2005 and his brother Clarence died in 2008. He wanted to negotiate his surrender in exchange for cancer treatment. What? The FBI could not authenticate the letter, and although the men were declared dead, the case remains open. In 2022, the U.S. Marshals released AI images of what they believe the inmates would look like now.
What a night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the fact that the case is still open.
Right.
I just thought it was a relevant story with in the
The
news right now,
reopening.
wanting to reopen Alcatraz.
Yep. Nope. That makes. As soon as she started reading it, I was like, I know where this is going.
Mhm.
Just gotta
Well,
find
thank you.
the. Yeah.
He had leverage for his cancer treatment.
Yes.
He tried.
Yeah.
I've done the same thing. I would have been like, I'm the person. Let me get 20 grand to fix my body for plastic surgery.
Oh, well, thank you, Erica, for digging into that story. Now we go to Molly for our next wild news story.
All right. Well, we're going to go to April 30th, 2018, Ashbury, New Jersey, where police have received several reports of human feces being left on the Holmdel High School athletic field. After receiving several complaints, the police set up surveillance cameras, and at 5:50 a.m., they watched as 43-year-old Thomas Tramogline ducked under the bleachers and pooped. When arrested, it was revealed that Tramogline was the Kenilworth Public School superintendent. He pleaded guilty to all of the public poops and claimed that he suffered from a medical emergency that caused him to feel the immediate or urgent need to defecate while running. He was immediately placed on leave as superintendent of the schools and eventually resigned. He was fined $500 and had to pay all of his court costs.
Dang. Is he related to that lady that pooped on dude's car and said it was clean poop?
Wait, what?
That was in the news recently. Some lady, I think it was like some road rage story, or an ex-boyfriend, I don't know, but he was driving behind her. She gets out the car and poops on the guy's car. She like gets arrested and stuff and says that it was clean poop.
I've never heard this story.
Yeah, dude, look it up. It's
Yeah. It's really funny that you gave me this story, Laura, because I was just talking to Phil about how people shit themselves while they are running marathons. And that's why they have porta potties around marathon tracks. It's not for people watching, it's for people running.
Yeah, I've never experienced.
But why would you go, if you're the superintendent of schools, why would you go to the school?
Don't you have keys to the school? You could shit in the school.
There's that, or you could run somewhere else so that if you're taking shits, you're not shitting on your school, or you could admit to doing it since it's a medical problem. What a freaking moron.
Now we go to Coruna, Spain, where in 1923, a mother and daughter simultaneously gave birth to sons. The surrounding family and friends celebrated the arrivals by passing the boys around while giving boisterous toasts and handshakes. Unfortunately, the newborns looked practically identical, and in the revelry, the babies were mixed up. The mothers could not be certain if they had received their own son back, and the boys will never know if they are their uncle or their nephew.
Thank you for pushing those stories out. Now we go to Erica for the wild news weather headlines.
We go to August 9, 1945, Kokura, Japan, where an American bomber called Boxcar was closing in on its target. The Boxcar's mission was to take out a major arsenal in Kokura, but as the plane flew over the city, a dense cloud formed and obstructed the bomber's view. Pilot Charles W. Sweeney circled the area 3 times, but the cloud cover consisted, and he had no choice but to move on to a different target. Nagasaki at 10:58 a.m. The boxcar dropped its nuclear bomb on Nagasaki, killing an estimated 35,000 people and obliterating 44% of the city. The dense cloud saved Kakakura and sealed Nagasaki fate. Of course, he gave me this one with the damn.
I was gonna say, Laura, did you pick all of the hard names and cities?
Yeah, damn.
So a cloud covered that city and saved it from getting nuked. That's crazy.
Well, that was Jesus, obviously.
Jesus in Japan, where they don't really have Christianity.
I mean,
Come on now.
it was God.
Okay.
Let's go back to March 3rd, 1876. Olympian Springs in
Kentucky.
Reading is hard.
It is hard.
Let's go back.
Yes.
March 3rd, 1876, Olympian Spring, Kentucky, where around 11 a.m., meat rained down on the farmland. And that is MEAT for those listening. Rained down on the farmland for 2 minutes. Farmer's wife, Mary Crotch, was the first to notice the meat, MEAT, shower as she stood outside of her home. She watched as the meat scattered from the sky over an area about the size of a football field. Miss Crotch. Okay, so what the fuck?
Keep going.
Miss Crotch and her husband believed the showers to be a sign from God. Were they beef curtains? At least one Olympian Spring resident is reported to have kept some of the meat and even admitted to eating it from a period of time. Now we can definitely explain where the meat came from, but the theory was the local resort hotel may have done it as a publicity stunt to beef up business. Another theory was the planet exploded, sending chunks of its animal life from forms through the sky. The most widely accepted theory is that it was a mass of vultures flying overhead. Apparently, when they're alarmed, vultures vomit as to lighten the load, allowing them to fly faster. It's believed that the meat shower was a mass vulture vomiting event. Hi.
And somebody ate it.
Ew.
Oh, shit.
No one reported seeing a large flock of birds in the area, but vultures can fly up to 20,000 feet, blocking them from view. A chunk of meat remains on display at the Monroe Moosnick Medical and Science Museum in Lexington, Kentucky. The meat has been examined over the years. Some reports have identified it as horse, deer, lamb, bear, and human. However, after being stored in formaldehyde, alcohol, and other chemicals, the meat is too contaminated to get accurate DNA. What the hell?
Horrifying.
What I'm still stuck on is
Did a great job.
this is Scratch and the beef curtain showers.
Can you imagine?
Somebody ate it.
Someone ate it.
The literal mystery meat.
Yeah,
She-
I mean, if
She told her grandson that, and her grandson reported that. Like, she
Mm-mm.
it was rough times.
Yeah,
I
ate
would
Yeah.
get some butter.
What year was this?
well, they thought it was a sign from God.
They thought what?
It was a sign from God.
Oh, because
So
everybody.
maybe they thought God was giving them meat. I don't know. We were stupid.
I wonder what it
Human beings do really dumb things.
Mhm.
We could just have the news could just say that. Today, human beings did more stupid things.
On that note, thank you for those explosive stories, Erica. Now back to Molly to flesh out the wild news in sports.
Our first wild news sports story takes us to March 21st, 2010, in Del Norte, California, where 27-year-old MMA fighter Jared Wyatt pled guilty to the murder of his sparring partner, 21-year-old Taylor Powell. After ingesting hallucinogenic mushrooms, Wyatt and Powell believed that they were involved in a struggle between the God and the devil. Wyatt was convinced that the world was ending and that Powell was the devil. When police arrived at Jared's home, they found Taylor Powell's body on the couch, his chest cut open and his heart and tongue were removed, and the skin on his face had been peeled off. His heart was discovered charred in a wood-burning stove. An autopsy revealed the organs had been removed while Powell was still alive. Wyatt attempted an insanity plea but was found competent and was sentenced to 50 years to life.
Dang.
You can't trust nobody.
I've never done that many.
Don't blame the mushrooms, dude.
I've
Don't
never
blame the
done that many
mushrooms. No way. I'm not buying it. There had to be steroids or
something.
Come on.
You know, all I'm going to say about this is this. They haven't, because mushrooms are illegal, they haven't done studies of like how they work with other drugs. So yeah, maybe the steroids and the mushrooms don't play well together.
Allegedly, we're not saying this man was on steroids at all. But it feels like something's off there.
He sounds like a psycho, like a bad guy.
Yeah. Like, I've had friends have some take way too much mushrooms and have some wild trips, but no one's face got peeled off.
All right, so for our final wild news story in sports, we go to May 3rd, 2025, to the burro race in Cerrillos, New Mexico. The annual race pays homage to the American Gold Rush, when miners and their pack animals would sprint to land claim offices with the hope of striking rich. The rules of the race state that the burro must carry a saddle, pick, pan, and shovel. They are led by a 6-foot rope on a 6-mile or a 3-mile course on unpaved roads and single-track desert trails. Marvin Sandoval and his mini burro, Buttercup, were this year's first-place winners in the 6-mile run, completing the course in just over 49 minutes. The teams compete for Western belt buckles, and the last-place finishers receive a traditional Last Ass award.
So that just happened in May?
Yes, recently.
I feel like I needed to point out that this is a sport in America.
It seems like an American sport.
It can only be an American sport.
And bowling.
I kind of think it's adorable.
I want to go see it.
Kind of do too.
I want to.
Yeah, I kind of want to race a burro. So apparently you can rent them. If you don't, they recommend that you raise one yourself so you have a connection with your burro and you can win the race. But you can also rent one if you just want to go to the race and try. But it's not recommended because burros are apparently really finicky and stubborn, and if they don't want to move, they're not going to move. There's nothing you can do.
There's a reason that you call like shitheads like jackasses. It's because of burros.
Right, a stubborn ass for sure. Well, thank you for leading us through those trippy stories, Molly. Let's go to Erica with our final Wild News Network story.
It is. Our final wild news headline takes us to February 18th, 2015 in Boulder, Colorado, where locals are baffled by a new and unusual crime spree. Lawn gnome thefts are occurring all over the city of Boulder. After her gnome was abducted, homeowner Christine Smith received an email from a group calling itself the Gnome Liberation Front. They claimed responsibility for the recent gnome thefts, including the gnome stolen from her yard. Smith told police that the GLF said, we renamed him Elvis and that we didn't have respect for him because we never named him. These bitches are crazy. I'm lost already. Jesus Christ. And that we didn't have respect from him because we never named him. So I don't think we'll ever see him again. The GLF has been in the liberation of gnomes around the globe since 1997. The group is rumored to have around 1,700 members and is most active in France. They claim to have freed over 7,800 gnomes. The Gnome Liberation Front is known for displaying the stolen statues in unusual spaces, releasing them in forests, public spaces, and even church steps. What did I just read?
Hello.
Oh, shit, you're a member. I outed you.
Member
I knew it.
2000 17. Remember Molly? Molly Ringwald over here.
So good. So good.
Are you part of this group, Molly?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, now she's gonna get her gnome
They can try-
stolen. No, it looks like you
I was
take good
gonna
care
say,
of your gnome.
Come and get it. Yes, yeah. He lives inside.
Yeah.
But wait, they steal gnomes and then they put them in random places
Mm-hmm.
because
They free them.
Gnomes,
They take them from people's lawns and free them into the world. Mm-hmm.
oh, because they're hostages.
Apparently,
According to them.
according to this group of 1,700 people globally.
There's so many crazies out there.
So good. Well, thank you to our guest affiliate, Molly, and to Erica for bringing these wild news stories, Gnome. Please like and subscribe. And if any of our subscribers would like to be a guest affiliate, let us know in the comments below. Thank you for joining us on the Wild News Network.